Hello, how's it going? Today we will distinguish some similar words in English. And turn down. Do you know what is turn down? It is a phrasal verb. A phrasal verb consists of verb turn and a preposition down. It is the definition of a phrasal verb. A verb combines with a preposition. Turn down means refuse or reject. So do you know the difference between refuse and reject? As I said, if you want to memorize a new word, you have to associate the new word with something which you have already known. And in these lessons, we will associate turn down with refuse and reject. And the difference between refuse and reject. Refuse could be an intransitive or transitive verb. Refuse could be an intransitive or transitive verb. Reject is only transitive verb. An intransitive verb doesn't need to be followed by an object. Without object, it's okay. A transitive verb needs to be followed by an object. Just look at this. The first example, they offered me a job, but I refused. You see, I refused. We don't have any object here, nothing, refuse, and we don't need an object here, so refuse could be an intransitive verb. Intransitive verb, refuse. We don't have an object here. In this sentence, they offered me a job, but I rejected it. You see, a transitive verb needs to be followed by an object. We have it. It is an object. If you removed this word, it would be wrong. It would be incorrect. So, rejected it. Reject is a transitive verb, so you need an object here. In this sentence, I refused to do it. Refuse. We don't have an object here, so we have to use refuse to do it. You could not use reject. I rejected to do it. Wrong. I rejected to do it. No. Wrong. You have to use I refused to do it. Okay. In many cases, these two words, refuse and reject, are interchangeable. You know, you can replace refuse with reject and vice versa. These two words are interchangeable. It means you can replace one word with the other without changing the meaning. But refuse and reject have a slight difference. As I said, intransitive and or transitive verb only. So, and one more thing. It's just my experience, my feeling. Refuse to do something. You see the action. If you see the action, a specific action, a clear action in the sentence, you are likely to use refuse. I refused to do it. I refused to kiss her. I refused to accept her love. I refused to go. I refused to come back home early. Refuse. you see an action. But I rejected the idea. The idea, which action? Do you know? There is no clear action here. You couldn't associate the idea with any specific action because it's not so clear. I rejected the idea. I rejected the argument. The argument, which action? You don't know. I rejected the plan. I rejected the hypothesis. I rejected your speculation. I rejected your theory. Your theory. We couldn't associate any specific action in those words, in those sentences. So we are likely to use reject with some idea, some argument, some plan, some hypothesis, some speculation, some theory, something we couldn't know, we couldn't recognize the action specifically. But as I said, in many cases, these two words, refuse and reject, are interchangeable. It means you can use refuse or reject, and the meaning are the same. They are interchangeable. We will look at some more examples. I refused, rejected, turned down the offer for a job. First of all, do we have an object here? Yes, we have. The offer for a job, the offer. And the offer for a job, can we associate this offer with any activity? Yes. Offer for a job means work for somebody. So in this sentence, we can use refuse, reject, and turn down. The past simple tense. I refused, I rejected, I turned down the offer for a job. Next sentence, I will refuse, reject, turn down her invitation. Do we have an object? Yes, we have an object here, her invitation. So can we imagine, can we associate her invitation with any activity, any action? Can we associate, can we imagine her invitation with any action? Yes, just joining the party, joining her, go somewhere, hanging out with her. So we can use refuse, reject, and turn down. They are interchangeable. They are interchangeable. As I said, in many cases, they are interchangeable. You can change, you can replace one with the other without changing the meaning. They are interchangeable. But just look at this sentence. I refuse to climb the tree. Refuse to climb, a verb. To climb, a verb, not an object, the tree. So, in this sentence, we don't have an object. So, we only use refuse in this kind of sentence. Without the object, we are able to use refuse only. Reject, wrong, turn sentence. The last sentence, I reject her claim. Her claim? We couldn't imagine what specific action it is. So, in this sentence, we couldn't imagine, we couldn't associate her claim with any activity, any action, any specific action. So we are we are likely to use reject. I reject her claim. The boundary is not so clear. So I said it's just a kind of feeling. It's just a kind of experience. So it's likely to use refuse when we don't have the object, and when we use reject with some idea, some argument, some plan, some hypothesis, some claims, some speculations. Okay, see you next time.